This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 5.
Right now, the Lubbock Central Appraisal District is working to contact more than 1,500 property owners after it made an $8 million mistake. Good afternoon and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Shaley Sanders. Officials from the district say they reran tax checks from earlier this year and deposited them for a second time. The Lubbock Central Appraisal District says it wants property owners to know they will be refunded any overdraft charges resulting from a January deposit accidentally resubmitted yesterday for tax payments processed on December 29th and 30th of last year. District Chief Appraiser Tim Radloff says the district and I sincerely apologize this happened. We regret the error and that it affects property owners. We wish we could contact banks and ask them to reverse this, but for obvious reasons that has to come from the property owner. The district says it will contact all affected property owners and financial institutions by mail and if possible by phone. We have a list of what you need to do if you are an affected property owner. For a look at that information and to stay up to date on this developing story, download our KCBD mobile app. That way you can get the very latest information sent directly to your phone. That app is free to download. And we are continuing to follow news out of Abernathy, where one woman has died in a rollover accident off of I-27. DPS says the driver, for an unknown reason, lost control and skid across the center median and into the northbound lanes, rolling before coming to a stop. The female driver, who DPS says was wearing a seatbelt at the time, died. Her name has not yet been released. Well, it's going to feel a little bit more like winter as temperatures will drop into the 40s, but could rain come along with those changes in the temperatures? John joins us now from the First Alert Forecast Center with more details. John, what can we expect?
Tell you what, Shaley, it's going to be quite a turnaround. We're going to go from 70s yesterday, 60s today, to the 40s tomorrow afternoon. Take a look at our Super Doppler HD3. You'll see a large area of rain, and I've indicated with the arrow that is moving to the east-northeast towards West Texas area, but obviously it's still around Ruidoso up to about Albuquerque, so it's going to be later this evening before it enters the western South Plains, but it's going to cover most of the region during the day on Wednesday, exiting late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. You'll see that on our raincast, how the clouds continue to spill in overnight, and then the rain begins to edge into our western areas primarily around or after midnight. Models continue to slow that system down. It'll be slow to move across the region tomorrow, but by Wednesday, 7:30 to 8, we'll still have showers mainly in the east and northeastern South Plains, and amounts will vary from a half an inch to possibly near 2 inches in some areas. So wet and cold Wednesday. We'll turn that around with a cold start Thursday morning and then warm it up Thursday afternoon, Shaley.
Okay, thanks so much, John. Austin could run out of drinking water as historic flooding continues to impact that city. More water is being consumed than treatment plants can currently produce. Residents are urged to immediately cut down on their water use by 15 to 20% to avoid running out. Outdoor water use is also prohibited. A boil water advisory is still in effect as the city works to filter water from the Highland Lakes. Officials called the possible water shortage an emergency situation. And just a reminder, the city of Tahoka is under a boil water notice today. The city turned off water last night at 10 o'clock to connect new lines to the water system. We'll let you know when that notice is lifted. Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman on the Supreme Court, revealed she has dementia. Today, the 88-year-old retired justice shared the news in a letter released by the court. In it, O'Connor says she has the beginning stages of dementia and probably Alzheimer's disease, and that she was diagnosed, quote, some time ago. O'Connor explained she is making the announcement in part because she is no longer able to participate in public life. Sandra Day O'Connor was nominated to the Supreme Court by President Ronald Reagan in 1981 and served until her retirement in 2006. Today, Turkey's president had harsh words for Saudi Arabia over a Washington Post journalist murder. The president saying it was a pre-planned attack, not a rogue operation. NBC's Bill Neely has more from Istanbul. The U.S.-bound migrant caravan is resting today in Mexico. The thousands of Central American migrants are still at least 1,000 miles from the U.S. border, but about 1,700 people have decided to stay in Mexico and apply for refugee status there. NBC's Mariana Atencio is with the caravan in southern Mexico. Back here on the South Plains, registration is now open for Citibank's Community Rewards program. Citibank will donate $60,000 to Lubbock and area nonprofits through Community Rewards online voting. This year, 30 winners will be chosen. Registration closes tomorrow and voting begins on October 28th. And on Thursday, the Texas Tech University System Board of Regents will vote on the appointment of Dr. Ted Mitchell as chancellor. The regents named Mitchell as the sole finalist for the position on October 4th. The special called meeting will take place at 3:45 on Thursday. And tomorrow is Miracle Jeans Day, a fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. Already banks, schools, car dealerships, and other businesses have signed up to pay $5 to wear jeans to work tomorrow. Money that will benefit the Children's Hospital at UMC. Perfect timing to wear jeans to work on Wednesday because that is when the rain will likely return with those drops in temperatures. So just call the number on your screen tomorrow to get stickers to explain why your office is going casual for the kids tomorrow. And still to come on News Channel 11 at 5 tonight, you could be a billionaire, but what would you do with all of that cash? We have a look at your options next. Plus, a futuristic new travel tunnel could soon become a reality. We'll talk more on the plans Elon Musk says he has. But first is a wet morning ahead. John will have your complete first alert forecast when we come back. In just a few hours, you could be a billionaire. That is, if you bought your ticket, of course. Tonight will be the drawing for the Mega Millions jackpot, where 6 winning numbers could get you $1.6 billion. But what would you do with all of that cash? Jay Gay joins us now from the largest Ferrari dealership in the Midwest with more. Jay?
Hey there, Shaley. Good evening.
All right, thanks so much, Jay. Well, if you're getting in on that big lottery with some coworkers this evening, experts have some tips just in case you win big. After previous group winnings ended up in court, lottery officials and lawyers say coworkers should get everything in writing before throwing money into an office pool, adding to only enter with people you trust, create rules of the pool, assign a pool leader who will track the money and the possible winnings, and make photocopies front and back for each pool member. Good luck. John, are you in?
Sounds good. As long as I'm the pool leader right there, Shaley. Take a Spooky Science Carnival coming up. That's going to be from 5 to 9 p.m. Spooky Carnival, not a scary carnival. You can get inside and do free trick-or-treating if you want to go to the science demonstrations and all the science-related activity, and there's a lot of fun going on there and costumes and stuff. It's the regular museum fee for that, Shaley.
All right, sounds good. And you'll be there Friday night, though, ahead
Friday,
of the carnival?
yes. James and I will be talking about what's coming up on Friday night.
Okay, I'm
Maybe
excited
wearing
to see.
my...
I know your costume, and it's a
Yeah.
secret as to what you're going to wear. I'm really looking forward to it. Well, right now, residents along Mexico's Pacific coast are bracing themselves for the arrival of Hurricane Willa, whose wind speeds are already up to 145 miles per hour. It is forecast to be one of the most powerful hurricanes to hit Mexico in the Pacific in recent years. The official death toll from Hurricane Michael has been released. At least 39 people have died from that massive storm. 29 of those deaths are reported in Florida. The storm-related deaths are tallied by state emergency management officials based on rulings from district medical examiners. Hurricane Michael came ashore on the Florida Panhandle on October 10th. Now to a consumer alert for you to be aware of. BMW has expanded a recall that started overseas to include cars right here in the U.S. The automaker says about 54,000 vehicles in the U.S. and Canada made between 2010 and 2017 are impacted by that recall. It's due to possible coolant leaks in some diesel vehicles that could combine with soot at high temperatures and result in a fire. Now, initially, BMW had recalled 480,000 vehicles in Asia and Europe over the issue, which so far has not resulted in any injuries. But further inspection prompted the company to expand that recall, which now affects 1.6 million people worldwide. On the Consumer Watch, Kellogg says you should start seeing Honey Smacks cereal back on store shelves next month. The cereal was recalled in June because of a salmonella outbreak that sickened more than 100 people in 36 states. The new recipe will be clearly marked on the new packages of the cereal when it returns. The company adds that it moved Honey Smacks production to a trusted and tested Kellogg facility. Also on the Consumer Watch, Elon Musk's high-speed underground transport system, the Hyperloop, could soon be a reality. On Twitter, the tech entrepreneur said the tunnel being dug to test his loop should be complete in early December. Musk announced there will be an event that opening night, and free rides for the public will start the very next day. The Hyperloop test track starts on the SpaceX property, a Musk company in Hawthorne, California, and runs at 125 miles per hour for about 2 miles. When we come back, imagine a device that can specifically target your pain and get rid of it. Well, you no longer have to imagine it because it actually exists. We'll tell you more about this device and how it's helping to lower opioid use across the country. Making news in your health, doctors may want to add a screening for violence to a woman's annual physical exam. According to the latest guidance from the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, researchers say women of reproductive age are at a higher risk of violence from a partner, adding that anyone who tests positive should then be connected to support services. Imagine a device that could block the pain you receive from areas like your knee or your back from ever getting to your brain. Well, that technology does exist, and now doctors are using it to help lower opioid prescriptions. Hallie Pilot has some more details on this life-changing device. John is back with a final look at our first alert forecast. And I hear over in Ruidoso they're seeing rainfall right now.
They're seeing rain. I wouldn't be surprised there's not a little rain-snow mix, maybe in higher elevations, but it's not all that cold there in the mountain areas in the 30s, but it is around 48, maybe 50 degrees at the most in Ruidoso, but it feels like it's in the 40s there. That's an indication of what we're going to have here on the South Plains tomorrow, just without the mountains. It's going to be cloudy, wet, and cold coming up on Wednesday, so make sure you dress appropriately. We're going from the low 40s in the morning to the upper 40s in the afternoon, maybe a 5-degree range in temperatures, but it does look better there. Shaley, by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday look good, and then 60 Sunday and Monday. So I know some of the cotton farmers were out there getting cotton in, so hopefully they'll have, after the break tomorrow, it'll dry out pretty fast and they can get back in there over the remainder of the weekend.
Absolutely. I know a farmer who's been watching a lot of TV lately because he's stuck inside and his wife is like, we need to get him outside working.
Yep. Let's hope so.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. It's all of our time. We hope you have a wonderful evening.